I have started drama.
Oh my gosh, that feeling was probably so surreal pulling up to that
Oh my
island, seeing
gosh,
Chef
yeah.
Probst.
I think this episode was probably the best episode of Beast Games.
What's up, everyone? It's Ava and Ivy. Welcome back to another podcast episode. Today, we have one, a very special guest, and two, a very special episode because episode 4 of Beast Games was the Survivor crossover episode. And we thought who better to have on the podcast to recap with us than Jesse himself, who has been on both Survivor and Beast Games. And also to mention that his son also won the Last to Leave the Circle challenge on MrBeast's channel. So Jesse has a lot of lore behind him, I would say. Jesse, say hi.
Hello. I am very excited to be here. This is like the biggest Beast Survivor crossover that's ever happened since the last episode, right?
Yeah.
Right.
literally. Yeah, this is the next big crossover, this podcast.
This is the second biggest crossover.
Yes.
Yeah, literally. That's so funny. So yeah, before we kind of talk about it, obviously for maybe audience people that don't know exactly your background, we want to review that a little bit. So do you want to give a little rundown on, maybe what you're best known as from Survivor, what season you were, anything that I guess you would deem important?
Yeah. So I played on Survivor 43. I was the favorite to win. I think it's fair to say I was the favorite to win up until fire making, where I lost pretty handily to Alligabler. He beat me in record time. But up until that point, I was pretty much controlling the game, making a lot of the moves. I had 2 idols at one point, both of which I didn't find. They were kind of handed to me. So I had an incredible run on Survivor, and it was so much fun. And then, I lost. And after Survivor, I was given the SIA award. SIA gave me $100,000 just for being my favorite player, which was very cool. And so Survivor really did like open up so many doors, and it eventually led to meeting people on MrBeast's production team who are big fans of Survivor as well. And it got me and my son sort of in the running for MrBeast videos. And I don't know if you do know, but Gio is in the ages 1 through 100, the first video, ages 1 through 100, the second video. In the first video, he's the kid that's screaming and trying to get the adults to quit because he doesn't want them to sleep. In the second video, all the adults, he played a masterful social game, and all the adults actually wanted to keep him in, but one adult voted him out. But then he came back and he got to play with I'd say Beast Legends in the 100 Circle video. He got to play with freaking Akira, Kareem. Who else was in there? There was Jeremy.
It was like everyone, yeah.
And even people like Hugo, all of these really cool people. So I've been on set for MrBeast videos. I've been on Survivor. And so seeing this crossover episode was crazy. And yeah, and then Gio did win that video. He beat out Akira the Assassin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And how old is Gio?
He's 13 now. He was 12 when he won.
And he's the youngest winner ever, right?
I think he is. He's definitely the age to prize ratio. That's the biggest sort of prize that somebody that young has won.
That's insane.
Crazy.
Yeah,
he has so much aura.
Much.
No, for real. Oh my gosh. Imagine that much aura.
Yeah. So I've been sort of on Beast sets for it's sort of an annual thing at this point. Every year, right. Gio gets a call for something, and I'm in the backstage area, watching and seeing how they're doing things. And so obviously Survivor gave me a lot. MrBeast gave my family a lot. And so this crossover was it meant a lot to me. So when people are like, our worlds are colliding, I'm like, no, you don't understand. My world are literally colliding.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it's literally the perfect scenario for you.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Or best case scenario, I guess.
Well, best case scenario would have been me getting to go, but
you're right. That's a good point.
It's a good point. Good point.
Next time, if it becomes an annual.
Blocks.
Season 3.
Season 3. We'll run it back.
Yeah.
Yes, run it back. So did you feel like going into Beast Games you had some advantage from your Survivor experience or just even your experience with Beast too? How did you feel about that?
So I don't know that I thought Survivor was going to be an advantage. In fact, like I thought like Survivor would be like a disadvantage. Because I think a lot of people who like applied for like Beast Games season 1 and like season 2, I think like they're just reality TV show like fans. Quite a few people. I anticipated
Yeah.
like I was really hoping like nobody would recognize me or anything like that.
Mm.
But there were Survivor fans and they did know who I was. And like if they saw my season, they know that like I'm pretty like cutthroat and like I will backstab somebody if it means getting money or winning. So I felt like sort of it was a disadvantage kind of going in, like being known for Survivor. And so I was like, because I want to get picked as a captain. Like I want to be the person, but nobody's going to trust me
Right.
because of Survivor. So like in a way, I felt like it was
Mhm.
a disadvantage, but at the same time, it was an advantage because while everybody else is like showing up to the first day and they're worried about like the cameras and like freaking out over just the scale of the set. Like I've seen really crazy, like survivor challenges. I've seen a wall of cameras before. And I've been on the beast sets before. So I've seen Jimmy before. I'm not gonna be like super like starstruck by him. So like
Right.
while everybody else is like fumbling over their words, I feel like prepared in the sense of like, okay, I've been on a MrBeast set before. I've been on Survivor. I've competed in challenges. So like that pressure of that wasn't necessarily there. But in terms of like giving me an edge in like the games or whatever, I think Jimmy is so they throw whatever they can at you and you never know what to expect. So you can't really prepare for Beast games, I don't think.
Right.
So you did mention you would want to be a captain if they didn't know your survivor background. If you were in the Captain Bribe scenario and you were up as captain, would you have taken the $1,000,000?
Okay. You know what? Like part of me, I was actively so like obviously my run was not like that long. Like I got out in the second challenge with Gage and the blocks. But like while I was there, I was trying to make it seem like I didn't necessarily want the money. Like I was like, guys, like I got $100,000 from Sia. My son is set up with, his future because he just won. Like I don't know if you saw that, but he just won. And then I was like actively trying to, I was like lying. I was like, I've been contacted for other reality shows. So like this won't be my last chance at money. Like I was really
Right.
trying to like downplay my desire to like take a bribe or anything. Um, so if I did get up there for $1,000,000, yes, I would have slapped the button. I
Yes. Yeah.
probably would have slapped it for $1,000,000. I'll be honest. Part of me like wants to do something like for a meme and just like slap it at $10. I mean,
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
like
That'd be
imagine
crazy.
for $10. Like,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And yeah, that's what I kind of wanted to ask you since you were in it for how long were you there filming for before you got out?
so it was 2 weeks
Okay.
that I was
So
there.
you like got to know people pretty well. Did it feel like a lot of people were like aiming to be cutthroat or was it just more everyone just wants to be friends? I mean, at that point in the game maybe it's a little different, but in our opinion when we're watching like we expected these really strong and like really smart people to be more competitive than what we've seen so far at least.
Yeah, I mean, I think by the time I left, it was still sort of like it was 2 weeks, but it was like early in the game. So I don't
Right.
think anybody was trying to actively show any sort of like colors around being like cutthroat or anything. Everybody was still being
Mhm.
pretty friendly with each other. And I think uh, I think it's hard to be cutthroat in Beast games in the sense that you never know what's around the corner, right?
Mhm.
So like if I'm cutthroat here, is the next game going to be something where me being cutthroat in the last game is going to come back to bite me kind of deal?
Mhm.
Whereas like Survivor, you have like a set format. And so you know how to sort of plan your behavior around that. So like this is like, I don't know. I think everybody was just trying to be friendly. And I think that's kind of why the bluff game from episode 2 broke down in a way. Because like
Mhm.
you don't want to be the person that lies to somebody and then like then they don't trust you going forward. So I do think there's people there to play and they want to win, right? And they want to be competitive, but like doing like cutthroat things, like I don't know how much benefit that gives you. And I mean, you see it this
Mhm.
episode of JT where he's gonna have to deal with like the fallout of slapping the
Right.
button, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I guess more going into the crossover episode right before we talk about JT and Ian and Ethan. Oh my gosh, that episode was
Oh, we
crazy.
had so much to talk about.
But what was your immediate reaction when you first found out about the crossover? Like, were you just surprised that it was happening, or like, how was that?
So I will say I did like Beast Games, not from like the perspective of like I'm gonna like I want to win this $1 million. Like I think like really like thinking I was gonna like make it to the end, which maybe that's like a bad mindset to be in. But like for me, it was about having like a little bit of fun, being able to step into like a world that my son has been in before, and I wanted to have that sort of like common like I don't know bond with him, I guess, and especially not to like turn this into like a Survivor like 50 podcast, but like I was in the running for Survivor 50. I got cut. It was a little heartbreaking. I was trying to rebound and like, these games was like my little like rebound of just like, let me go do something fun for the summer because I thought I was going to be doing something else. And so like I wasn't necessarily in like, oh, I'm gonna like win. So like when I went out, I was like okay with it. Then I
Mhm.
find out that there's a Survivor crossover and like my heart like just sunk like all over again. I
Mm,
was like, okay, now I'm not happy that I went. Like I would have rather stayed. I would have done anything to stay. I want to be there for that. That is just insane. Like because Survivor like has kept the curtain like very closed on
Mhm.
themselves and they don't branch out. So to even hear that it happened or see like when Jeff pops up on the screen, it's almost surreal.
Mhm.
right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I felt like because you really don't see, you kind of think of them as a competitor in a way, and you never really see other reality TV shows cross over like that, other than like the players themselves. So
Yeah.
it is a
Yeah.
crazy concept, and it's definitely going to shift, how reality TV goes forward in the future. I feel like because it's a beneficial to both sides, even if it's controversial to people that are watching, they're gonna watch anyway. They
Yeah,
wanna know what's
exactly.
gonna happen, and, like, same with, like, the 50 teaser of, like, having MrBeast come in, everyone was, like a lot of
Mhm.
not so good feedback, but they're gonna watch anyway, so it's just,
Right.
it's entertaining regardless, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think you get eyes on eyes from Beast like fans on Survivor by doing that, and you get eyes
Right.
of Survivor fans on Beast games by doing that. So like it is like, and I think the people that are going to complain about it, the people that are going to get angry and go on Twitter and be like, "You're killing Survivor" or whatever, like they're the people that are still going to watch anyway. Like
Right.
it
Yeah,
doesn't,
that's such a good point.
you know.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah, and it feels like they're trying to get more of a younger audience anyways, and so Mr. Beast is kind of the perfect person to, like, lead them to Survivor. So it's like, what's wrong with more people finding it and loving it too?
Yeah.
mhm,
Jeff has definitely said in the past, like, he is built Survivor for families. Like, it is a different show than it was 20 years ago.
mhm,
His goal is for it to be something that you can sit down with your family and watch. And there are going to be kids that are going to be like, wait, Mr. Beast is like on Survivor. Like, can I like, yeah, their parents already probably watch. So, like, then they're watching together now. Right. And then,
mhm,
same
Right.
thing with like hearing about Survivor being on Mr. Beast. There's probably parents who have heard like Mr. Beast's name over and over again, but never sat down and watched a video. But now that
Mhm.
they see Survivor is like doing something with them, they probably sat down and watched this episode.
mhm,
Right.
mhm.
Continuing with the crossover questions, so since we know you've competed in Survivor and Beast Games, what would you say is the biggest difference in strategy?
Hmm. It's hard. It's a little bit hard because I was not there like that long, like deep into like Beast Games, right? Like I think at this point, like they're getting down to the top 20, and now it is like going to become like a lot more social, strategic. Like decisions are going to need to be made. When I was is still in like Beast Games, there were still 100 people. You were just trying to be friendly with everybody. And I even remember having a conversation with Jimmy. He was like, I think he asked me, like, what's the difference between this and like Survivor? And Survivor, you can plan for things. Like you can like think like, okay, well, I know what happens if my tribe loses this challenge. We're gonna go to tribal. So what kinds of things can I set up so that if we do go to tribal, I'm good. So there's a lot of planning ahead that you can do not to like continue beating like the horse of like it's hard to plan for Beast games, but it really is. Like the best you can
Yeah.
do like at the stage of the game that I was in was like just try and be friendly with people. There was like a lot of strategizing and speculating really about the coming challenge that led to everybody building like teams of 10 because we had 100 people there. So everybody was like, let's build teams of 10 because I think they're going to split us up by tens. And so there was a lot of like people trying to build these teams, which then turned into like, I don't know, like semi like interviews for spots on these teams of 10, which were kind of like annoying to do.
Yeah, wait, that's crazy.
Like, I think at one point you see me like complaining about the strong people because I felt like I was having to like go up to these strong people and like be like, "Hey, can I be a part of your team, please?" Like, so I don't know. I just think the strategy while I was in Beast Games was very, it was just be friendly with people because it's very hard to plan, especially at that like early stage when there's 100 people and you know it's going to be like probably mass cuts.
Mm.
Right.
But I do think that strategy probably comes into play once you get down to these smaller numbers, and the eliminations are probably going to be like, I can't imagine they're going to do like mass cuts at this point. You know, I think
Mhm.
there's
Right.
probably be
Right.
like fewer, like eliminating like one at a time or something because they still have 6 episodes left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
interesting to see how it kind of plays out in that aspect. And I know we kind of like already touched on, how it's different just like playing in general and how you just answered with strategy and gameplay. But I kind of want your opinion on like, do you think betrayal looks differently within each show? Because in Survivor, you blindside someone and you're praised for it. Whereas in Beast games, like you're taking the millie and now you're like an enemy or something. Like, do you feel like that is a different thing and kind of is what makes the games so different from each other, like Survivor and Beast games, comparing them?
Yeah, so I've thought about that, and I don't know why that's the case, right?
I
Like,
agree.
I think
Yeah.
that like maybe it's like a cast thing. Like maybe like yes, they do. You end up with like people who are fans of reality TV and like things like Survivor on the cast of Beast Games, but because the cast is so big, there's people who probably have no idea. Like have never watched reality TV and maybe they're like doing this just as like a fun side quest that
Mhm.
their kid told them to apply to, and so like they're not used to seeing people like betray people for money or something. But like so that's where I like yeah, like a survivor it's like you got me. All right.
Yeah.
Good move, right? Maybe
Right.
that's why I vote for you to win because you betrayed me, right? Like that's a
Right.
move.
Yeah.
But in these games it's like maybe there's people that are like not, I think there were people on the cast that had one not watched a MrBeast video, and
Mhm.
two like did not watch like reality shows in general. So like for them, it's very jarring to see somebody like take $1 million and eliminate like somebody that they promised. They
Right.
made a verbal pinky promise or whatever too.
Right.
Like how could you break that? Uh,
Yeah.
Right.
I think there is just like a difference in maybe like the casting of the people that makes it a little bit more
Mhm.
dramatic when the betrayals happen on Beast games. But like at the end of the day, like it's a game.
Right.
Right.
JT did not like we can get into that later, but like JT did not rob a bank. Like JT,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Before we move into the episode 4 recap, if Mr. Beast played Survivor, how long do you think he would last?
Okay, so I've heard he does not like bugs.
Right,
That's the
'cause
word on the
Or the
street.
sun, right?
And does not like bugs or the sun. I know he did that like 7 days on an island video, but I think would he quit? Like, would he quit? Like, he might be like the dude that's like, hey, why am I here? Like, what am I doing?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not eating. Like, let me out of here. There's no feastables.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but so I worry about like whether or not he would like have the but I don't know. He's also put himself in situations where like 7 days of isolation. So like he can clearly like
Mhm.
hang in terms of like social skills. Um, if he tones down on all of the yelling.
Mm. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Right. Good point.
It's not good to be very loud on Survivor.
Yeah.
I could see him going out early for that reason. I could see him making like either just before the merge or just after the merge.
Mm,
And
mhm.
then
I could
maybe
definitely see
like
that.
maybe if he plays his cards right, he can convince people like, hey, take me to the end because nobody's going to give me $1 million because I already have like a bill.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, get brought along.
I guess he's one of the players where it's like he could land anywhere. Like he's a wild, really.
Yeah, depending on how he decides to speak with everyone, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because he could literally, his pitch would be like, look, bring me to the end. No one's going to vote for me.
Yeah.
And that's that. Okay, yeah, so let's kind of go into the episode 4 recap. Obviously, we're going to start with JT and taking the million. It was so fun. For those who don't know, we were all at the watch party too. And so JT was there as well, watching that in real time. And just, it was interesting, honestly, because in our opinion, in season 1, you had to eliminate 60 people to take the million. And I feel like that's a lot different than eliminating 4 people. And like, basically not really having enemies for it. Like, in my opinion, when he took the million, everyone in the room was celebrating. And it's like, okay, if this was season 1, people would be pissed. You know what I'm saying? So it's really interesting to watch.
Would people have been mad even like after the fact? So like I know people would have been mad like season 1 like on set, right? But like let's say like would they have been mad like watching it? Were they mad watching it? I guess nobody took it. So like
right. Yeah.
Would they have been mad watching it back? Like
I mean, I feel like it kind of goes into what you were saying earlier, Jesse. Like some people aren't reality TV, like they don't get it, I guess. Like they're not as competitive in that way. So I think they would have just been like, I can't believe they would betray me or whatever, versus seeing it as like they got offered $1 million. Like how would you not take $1 million? Like they might not see, I don't know, understand the betrayal of that.
Yeah, I agree, Ivy. And also, like, when we obviously knew Jeff wasn't going to take it, but if he did, that would have been crazy.
Oh,
like, that just would have been,
an
it would have been so funny.
turn. He would like from the hero to the
to villain.
Yeah.
I wanted
to see 11 mil.
See that arc. Come on.
Yeah. We needed that arc in season 2.
Yeah, should have done it for the plot. Like, really should have done it for the plot. But yeah, before we saw the reveal, I was speculating like it was going to be Hannah or JT. I feel like it could have went either way. I feel like I didn't really see Hannah's personality that much prior to this episode, so that's what made me question it, I guess. But
yeah,
I mean, when we talked to JT yesterday, he was like, "Why? I was waiting for someone else to take it. Like, why wouldn't you take $1 million in that situation, especially only eliminating 4 people?" So yeah, definitely entertaining to watch and a good way to end the cliffhanger for episode 3 to get people to watch episode 4. But yeah, so we see him take the million. We see Mia get a little upset, which a lot of similarities from season 1. She turned her back, talked some trash, and then left. So it's she kind of followed the same storyline there.
Oh, did she? Oh yeah, she did do that on the track.
To Akira.
Yeah,
to Akira, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Rough situation there. But now she's gone, and now there's only 2 OGs left, which it's ironic that it's Jeff, the $10 million winner, and JC, the guy that almost got got one of the highest prizes in season 1. So
how does Jeff do this? How does he do this?
I don't know. Yeah.
What is
I actually don't know.
He's just gonna make it to the end again? Like,
yeah,
now will he win again?
Won $10 million, got to play Survivor. Like, what is gonna win a second time? Like,
yeah, for real. Oh my gosh,
yeah. I don't think I expected Jeff to hit. I had no thought that Jeff would like hit the button. I was like kind of like hoping just for the plot, but I did think like maybe Nick was gonna do it. I think Nick's hand was like hovering over it a little bit. I don't know if he was like just teasing or what, but I did think like that he seemed to be interested in taking it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
I feel like his edit was sus in episode 3. Like they made him look like he was gonna hit it.
Yeah. It reminded me of Dino's edit in season 1. They made it really look like he was gonna take it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dino, Ivy hit a line in that episode. She's like, "Come on, Dino."
Dino.
Iconic, Ivy. Iconic.
Thank you.
I wonder if it's harder to hit the button when it's 4 people versus like the 65 in your season. Like, like I could see it going either way, right? Like it could be easier for people when like you have 65 people and you probably haven't talked to, I don't know, quite a few of them. But I can also see it being easier at 4 people because it's like, oh, it's only 4 people that I'm eliminating. It's not like like hurting a
Right.
bunch of people. So I
Yeah.
don't know. But either way,
Yeah.
That is a good point.
would have slapped the button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because honestly, like I was on Jeremy's team season 1 and I didn't really know him. I just knew his reputation. And so when everyone was just like, Jeremy, like he's got it, I was like, all right, guess he's got it. Like I didn't really have any input on who was being selected. And I honestly didn't really know the guy at the time. But I think what made it so difficult for them is because the whole group was like praising them. Like, yes, we trust these people. Like they will not, like Jeremy says, his integrity is not for sale. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
We got
you just
65
can't
people,
do that.
like,
Yeah, literally
Right.
praising you.
Yeah,
So
that's fair. All right, I'm gonna ask you the way JT asked Hannah. What's your number?
Ooh.
What's your number? Like, what are you hitting it at?
you go first, Ivy.
I mean, so in this situation where it's a bribe where I stay in the game, I would definitely take in the $1 million. Like 100%.
Not before? You'd have waited?
I think having seen season 1, you know like what they're capable of going up to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I would have held off. But I don't know, maybe I would get jumpy at like 900K. But I don't see myself taking a bribe to like eliminate myself, you know? But in that situation, yeah, 900K, $1 million, somewhere around there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, here's the thing. In season 1, I would like if I got selected as leader, I wouldn't have done it
Oh yeah,
just because of the
Season
scenario.
1.
And I wanted to experience whatever was going to happen in the future, which I'm so glad I did. But in season 2, I would have taken the million easy. And obviously, I would have waited until it reached like the highest number. And I guess I would have a slight worry that someone else would press it before me. So maybe I would, when it hits like 990 something, I would just hit it. Just in case. So
what if Ivy was on your team?
Jesse's hitting us with the hard question.
Yeah, Ava, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I have started drama. They're never gonna recover.
Yeah. This is the end of Ava and Ivy.
Yeah, it would. Well, that would be the end of Ava and Ivy because I would hit the button. So
yeah. And here's the thing, Ava, I would too. So
dude. Okay.
So it's okay. It's okay.
We know the price now. We know.
Yeah. And now they have to put us in another season so that scenario plays out, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Jimmy, take notes.
Yeah, write that down.
Write that down.
Okay, yeah. So transitioning back into the episode, what we see next is the crossover reveal, basically. Oh wait, actually, technically, the search for the cannonball, which I was sick too. Seeing them actually be able to shoot the cannonballs last season, that they were supposed to, and then it got canceled. So I'm glad they implemented it into season 2.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. Like it was cool, even though it wasn't like. It was still sort of Survivory in the sense that like you kind of have to like it's like hunting for a hidden immunity idol, right? Like you're hunting for a cannonball to try and go to the island. So like it was almost like sort of fitting with the theme, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's always fun to watch. In season 1, we had like a scavenger hunt, which that was really crazy though, because it was like, I don't know, Ivy, like over 100 people. I don't remember.
Yeah, maybe 200 people still at that time.
Oh, that's chaos.
200 people looking for one ticket.
Yeah, we destroyed the city, like flipped everything over, pulled the plants out of the ground.
And your city was bigger.
Oh yeah, it was
right?
Huge. Yeah, and people like ran up the towers, like 4 floors of the towers. Oh my gosh. And they didn't get it. That sucked. Yeah, it was taped under the ping pong table, so yeah.
Always look under the tables first.
Always look under the ping pong table.
Why didn't we think of that, Ivy?
I know we should have done that. But I want to know how long it took for them to find all the cannonballs in season 2. Like, because if there's only like the whole city too, like searching the whole city is kind of crazy. So
and in the sand pit, there were some in the sand pit.
Yeah.
Oh my
Like,
gosh, yeah.
the sand pit's big. Like, how did they? How many holes did they dig until it it?
Oh my
For
gosh,
real.
right?
Like you're just getting lucky at that point, I feel like.
Yeah.
Wherever you start digging. Which I feel like we watched the behind the scenes with John Uche yesterday, and that was the last ones they found, and they told them like, go look in the sand pit. and that's
Oh,
when
they did?
everyone started digging. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you guys are
So
never gonna find it. You just
Right, yeah.
they started drawing
Yeah.
X's where it was.
Yeah, literally, yeah, where they
Yeah.
were. And that was also interesting seeing, like, the Starbucks cannonball, like, you had to go ask the
Mhm.
barista, like, "Do you have a cannonball?" And I wish we saw that a little more, like, how that played out. I guess
Yeah.
they just
Mhm.
asked and got it, I don't know, but and then the hiding it in the basketball was creative, like, and you can kinda tell
Yeah.
that the basketball looked different than the other ones. I wouldn't honestly, I
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
have
have
thought of
noticed that.
tearing open a basketball?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, definitely not.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have noticed. Like, I know there was, like, a tiny difference in the, like, the paint around the ball was, like,
Mhm.
black versus white. I wouldn't have noticed. I
Yeah.
probably would have thought to go to Starbucks because, like, my mind would have been like, "Oh, they're gonna hide something there so there's, like, a tie-in, like, with
Mhm.
Starbucks
Mm.
or something."
Which there is with the
Right? Yeah.
cannonball
Like,
drink,
Yeah,
so
yeah, exactly.
that's probably where
yeah.
I would've went first, but
Yeah. I don't know where I think I would've went to the library because odds are it's hidden somewhere in those books,
Right,
and which
right.
there was one in the book, which I think actually, I don't remember who found it. I think it was Jeff, but I could be wrong about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we see those 10 people get the cannonballs, shoot their cannons, very cool, and then it was interesting to know that they didn't know they were going to the Survivor Island until they got there. They just
Yeah.
thought it was just another classic, like, MrBeast Island. Oh my gosh, that feeling was probably so surreal pulling up to that
Oh my
island, seeing
gosh,
Jeff
yeah.
Probst.
That
I'm
honestly
so
had to be, like, the
jealous.
farthest thing from anybody's mind. And I guess, like,
Mm.
even though you're in Fiji, you just aren't gonna anticipate that. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Survivor has never like, this has never happened. So, sure, like, Sue probably thought, like, "Oh, my friend Genevieve is here filming season 50."
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
how fun that, like, we're on separate islands. But she probably had no thought that, like, "Oh, Jeff Probst is about to walk out of that forest."
Mhm.
I
Right.
know that Ian is a big fan of Survivor, so he probably was thinking similarly, like, "Oh, this is so cool that Survivor's filming here at the same time." I think Hannah has played many, like, org Survivor games, LRG games, and I don't know, like, what, like, Jeff or JC, like, if they're familiar with Survivor, so I'm curious about, like, the people who, like, had no idea if they were just, like, saw, like, this random man walk through the
Right, yeah.
"Who's Jeff?"
Who is this guy?
Yeah. I'm sure they're I mean, I'm pretty sure Jeff not Jeff Probst, but, like, our Jeff, I'm pretty sure he watched Survivor. I don't know about JC, though.
I think he's aware of it, but I don't know if he, like, watches it.
Yeah. But, yeah, either way, I mean, as soon as you have that realization, I feel like even if you didn't watch Survivor before, you'd be like, "Wait, this is gonna be sick." Like, I'm included in
Yeah.
this episode,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm making history here, so such a surreal feeling. It was so fun seeing Sue, like, get so excited too. Oh,
Mhm.
also, I want your opinion on how they, like, included Jeff Probst in the trailer before Beast Games even dropped?
Yeah, yep.
So, we think personally that it would have been so much more of a spectacle if they didn't include it in the teaser, and then you just see Jeff Probst, the back of his head come in
Yeah.
episode 4,
Oh
like,
my
that
gosh.
would
Episode
I feel
4,
like that would
yeah.
have been so much more like, "Oh my gosh, everyone's gonna talk about this, like, what's going on?" You
Yeah,
know?
Mhm.
I think it would've been crazy to I see why you would want to promote it, though. Like, I do
Right.
feel like, um I feel like my algorithm is, like, very much like reality TV just for, random reasons, I don't know why.
Mm.
But, I see, like, a lot of, like, the talks about, like, Big Brother, Traitors, even if I don't watch these shows, like, my
Yes.
feed at Twitter and Instagram is reality TV, and I will say,
Mhm.
like, during, like, season 1 of Beast Games, like, I don't know that, like, Beast Games, like, popped into, like, the reality TV, like, algorithm as
Mm.
much. Um,
Mhm.
so I think that by promoting it ahead of time, like, with Survivor, with Jeff Probst, like, it did, like, immediately leading into season 1, like, or season 2, like, I was seeing a lot more, like, discussion among, like, the reality TV, like, fan community,
Uh-huh.
that I'm familiar with, talk
Uh-huh.
about, like, these games, and, like, whether it
Mhm.
was, like, negative or, like, positive, like, they were talking about, like, "Oh my
Right.
like, Jeff Probst is, like, gonna do a Survivor thing on Beast Games," so I see, like, why they did it. It got people very excited, and there were people, like, um, now wanting to like do podcasts about like this specific episode. So I see why they did it ahead of time, but like it would have been crazy to just be
Yeah.
randomly watching this episode of Beast Games and then all of a sudden Jeff Probst is there. It's like,
Yeah.
Right.
So let's talk. I think they immediately just went into the first challenge, right? In the episode,
Right.
from what I remember.
yeah, it was weird like seeing Jeff in this sort of like situation. Like, I don't know, like Survivor is very structured. We see Jeff as like this like very not rigid, but like this host that like but like they land on the island and then you see like them starting to walk up the beach and Jimmy starts like leading the island chant. And then I don't know why this stuck with me, but seeing like Jeff Probst chant like island, island
Oh
was
my
so
gosh.
like very uncanny and weird for me.
That's so
It's like
funny.
he's always so like serious like when like he's being shown on Survivor, I feel like. Maybe
Yeah.
he hasn't quit,
Right.
but like just to see him like Jimmy doing like his little island chant that he'd probably do in like a YouTube video and then have
Mhm.
Jeff Probst there with him doing it was
Yeah.
just I don't know why that stuck with me, but it was just like a weird moment of like, oh my God, this is like very much like meshing of worlds.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it felt like definitely a different side of Jeff, like, the whole time, and I don't know if you saw the behind the scenes either, but, like, the behind the scenes video they did too, it was just so weird seeing him interact like that with, like, Jimmy.
Yeah.
And
Very
I mean, they have pretty different personalities, and they do highlight that in the episode too. Like, it was so funny when like Jeff called him out for always yelling.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it's just that was just hilarious to me. And like, so it's funny to see their dynamic. Like, obviously they like each other and they respect both of their type of hosting, but when it comes together, it's just funny to see them kind of go at it in a funny way.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
one does it one way, one does it the other way, but they both work. So, and it was interesting to hear Jeff Probst in the behind the scenes. He was like, I don't remember exactly what he said, but just basically giving props to Jimmy, and obviously whatever he's doing is working. Like, he's the biggest YouTuber in the world, and he's worldwide. So it was just so crazy in my head to be like, that's Jeff Probst saying that. And then the comparison of, you know, Jimmy is starting hosting at 27, and then that's when Jeff started as well. But Jeff has been doing it for like 20 years or however long, and Jimmy's just starting out. So I don't know. It was just really awesome to see them interact and talk about each other's shows. Because, like we said earlier, we don't really see that behind the scenes with Jeff Probst. So I think it's
Yeah.
really cool to see.
Yeah, the whole episode felt like a pinch me, sort of like what is happening. Like this is so weird. Like I've seen both of these people in different settings, and now they're here together.
Yeah. So yeah, let's go into the first challenge. I'm trying to think of big highlights from the game. I mean, wasn't Yellow Team in the lead most of the time, from what I remember?
Yes. Yeah, I think Sue kind of got caught up on the coconuts,
Right.
and Yellow Team was kind of barreling through, and then Hannah got caught up on the puzzle, or not the puzzle,
Yeah.
the
The number.
numbers.
Oh,
But they ended up like catching up at the end, which is very classic Survivor.
Yeah, classic.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was funny watching though, like how they were trying to copy the numbers, but they were copying the wrong numbers
Yeah.
in the numbers
my
game.
gosh.
Like, that just sucks. But yeah,
Yeah.
ultimately Yellow Team came on top. So it's JC, Ethan, Ian, who I don't know, I didn't
Tyler?
write it down. Tyler.
Right.
Tyler, JC, Ian, Nick,
Oh,
Ethan
Nick.
were yellow.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. They were
Yeah.
yellow. And I thought the challenge was fun. I thought it was cool to see the challenge set up in a way where each person had to do something before like they moved on to the next stage, which is not always the
Right.
case on Survivor. Sometimes it is, but it was interesting. It was cool to see that. So each person actually had like a role to play. But I also think it was interesting to see like Beast Games contestants play this because like the yelling, it was very, I think Jeff says it, like it was very chaotic for a Survivor challenge. Like everybody's like yelling out the numbers. Like, well, the pink team's like yelling out the right number to try and get Hannah to put in the code. And then the other team starts yelling out like crazy opposite numbers, which like you don't often see like that sort of just like out not outlandish, but just like very like blatant like conflict, I guess. Because in Survivor, you're not
Right.
trying to like cause conflict because you lose, you go home, like you get voted out for it. But it was very cool to see like just different contestants play in this sort of like Survivor arena.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
No,
agree.
definitely. So then we see Survivor Classic get a grip. And we had a lot of like really big muscle guys going into it, which Ava and I have talked about this challenge a lot randomly on our channel, but we were like, oh, they're cooked. Like they're not staying up there too long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, because as a big person, it's a lot harder to hold yourself up than someone who has a lot less body weight. And that was evident in this episode of Survivor. And as we were watching at the watch party, I forget who fell first. It was obviously either Nick or Tyler, I think. But we were like, oh, first big guy down. Oh, next big guy down. And watching the whole scenario with Ethan, Ian, and JC, that's rough. That's rough.
Yeah.
And what made it worse too, I'm sure Ethan, actually I can't speak for him, but I feel like I would definitely regret my decision after seeing how everything else played out. But, it was a guaranteed 50K, so he wanted that guarantee. What makes it worse though was in the behind the scenes, Jimmy was like, yeah, I was just going to keep throwing money at them until someone took it. So the bribe would have kept going up, but Ethan just took it at 50K and just let it slip through his hands. So I don't know. I would be upset with myself in that scenario, I would say. Because like Ian was not staying up there for much longer.
Yeah.
Ian
Yeah.
was definitely falling. But I do think that was like, I feel bad for Ethan, but that was like
Yeah.
one of the most interesting like parts of the episode for me was seeing that like manipulation.
Mhm.
It felt very like reminiscent of like Survivor. Honestly, it felt like, yeah, it was like I think this episode was probably the best episode of Beast Games, like maybe next to the Cube episode from season 1, because there was just that social manipulation aspect to it. And you really got to see like people just like doing whatever they could, whether it was like physically or
Yeah.
just like mentally, emotionally to win something, right? And
Right.
Ian was like,
Mhm.
you could see the desperation in his face, like just like he knew he was gonna fall, and he was just throwing whatever he could at Ethan to get him to just drop down so that they could get to the final 2, which is Ethan wasn't gonna drop. Ethan was
Yeah.
Right.
he was like,
Right.
And then you think of the scenario, it would have been Ethan and JC, and no one's going to vote for JC.
yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know
So,
what like went through his head. Like I was trying to think it out and I was like, well, maybe he's not familiar like with like Survivor and like final
uh,
tribal voting jury is like he doesn't know what they are gonna base it on. So like Ian's telling him like we got families, like, they're
yeah.
not gonna vote for you. So
Yeah.
maybe he's like, oh, he's probably right. But then
Right.
you hear Jeff, not Jeff Probst, uh,
Other
Jeff
Jeff.
Eastley, other Jeff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You hear him saying, "Don't drop, like, don't drop, you got this." So, like, I don't know why he ended up dropping, but
Mhm.
see him say that he regrets it in the end, which is
Yeah. I wonder if it was like in a way he felt like guilt tripped to drop because of what Ian was saying. Like, yeah, we have families, like, and Ethan's a younger kid. I'm not sure of his exact situation, but yeah, maybe he just like felt guilty for holding on and taking it away from them. But I feel like Ian definitely didn't feel guilty for telling him to drop. So, you know, it's just an unfortunate scenario for Ethan, I think.
Yeah.
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 I wanna know how long it went. Like, I wanna know.
Same.
Right. Yeah.
Survivor, sometimes they'll pop up with, like, "It's been 30 minutes, it's been 40 minutes."
Right.
Like, these are, like, fully fed people, like, when Survivor does it, like, these are, like, starving people who are, like, on their last bit of energy, like,
Yeah.
I don't know how long
Yeah.
for, 'cause
Right, and I also wanted to throw in, like, it was so funny when Jeff brought out the burger, and it's like,
Yeah.
no one's gonna take a
That's
burger on
crazy.
these games.
Yeah. Right.
nobody's take they just ate
Yeah.
the burger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just there for the bit. It was just there for the bit.
Right. Right. Which
Yeah.
that's a crazy comparison to think about though. Like a bribe in Survivor's a burger versus a bribe in Beast Games is $50,000. Like,
Mhm.
oh my gosh. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
just crazy.
and that's what I think I think John Uche made the point, or it was someone, he was talking to someone, maybe it was Matt Apps, one of the producers, but he was like, Survivor is more focusing on when you're stripped of everything, how do you perform? Whereas Beast Games is, what would you do for money? Like, will you betray someone for money? And that's like one of the major differences between the shows. And so you get to see different sides of people. You get to see how much money does it take for someone to betray their best friend versus how starvation affects your gameplay and mindset and thinking things through. So they're very different. And that's why the crossover was really awesome.
Yeah,
I
it was
feel like.
very cool to see, and I think those moments, like where they highlighted like the differences with the burger versus the 50K is like just like peak
Unreal.
crossover,
Yeah. Yeah. And like kind of going into tribal and thinking about the comparisons when Jeff Probst, he was like talking about the $1.8 million island, and that's more than the prize you win in Survivor. And I think it was Jeff, maybe in the behind the scenes, that also said something about how, yeah, the $1 million is a carrot, but Survivor is more so about like the experience and testing yourself and your own abilities rather than just going for the money. So awesome points by Jeff Probst, of course.
Yeah. Speaking of the comparisons, who would you rather like have commentating on you as you were doing the Survivor challenge, right? Because I was trying to think, like Jeff is like always like, oh, you're moving slow. Jesse's moving really slow here.
Yeah.
As I've ever seen anybody move as he unties these knots. And then you have Jimmy, who's more like, hey, have you ever untied knots before? Like maybe
Right.
just asking questions, like like
Yeah.
what's the strategy? Like I don't know, like I don't know who I would have rather had to like in my ear while I'm running a Survivor challenge, but I felt like the
Yeah.
combination of both of them was kind of like I
Yeah.
would have been overwhelmed. Like leave me
Yeah,
alone,
no,
leave
for
me
sure.
alone, Jeff.
That's the thing. Like, I would want the full Survivor experience with Jeff Probst hosting, but I know that would make me 1,000 times more anxious because,
Oh, yeah.
like, Jeff is at some points talking trash on your game, like, "Oh, going slow. Oh, still missed another
Yeah.
shot." Like, and I would just be like, "Oh my gosh, I just suck. Like, this is the
Yeah.
worst."
It would be so hyped to have Jeff commentating if you're doing good though, being like, they're
Yeah,
blowing through this shot. Like I can't imagine like that'd be so hype.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I agree. Okay, let's talk about JC and Ian in the final tribal.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything that they said that. Oh, okay. Well, in my opinion, the biggest moment for me was when Jeff came at JC, when JC was like basically saying he regretted what he did in season 1 and he's like learning from himself. And Jeff was just like, never heard you say that.
Yeah, he
Never
didn't
heard you
like
say
that.
that till now.
Yeah. That was a
Yeah.
crazy moment.
Is there a backstory to that? So like I was kind of it didn't like shock me that he would say that. Like I feel like given his position, like you would probably he's gonna say whatever he needs to say to get people to like maybe vote for him, right? So like there's like a backstory where he's like stood like 10 toes down on his decision before this, and like now it's like a pivot, and it's just too deep for Jeff.
Yeah, like in my opinion, at least from just what you see on the internet and stuff like that, sometimes he teeter-totters between like owning up to his decision and just being like, yeah, I took it for my family. Like, I don't really feel bad about it. And then there's another side where, like on the show, where it's, I regret my decision, now give me more money.
Yeah.
So I think that's where probably Jeff got it from. And I'm sure there's a lot more backstory from when they were in top 10 or whatever and JC took the money. But that's just how I view it. Like, I think he went back on his word of being like, I'm confident I took the money for a reason. And then it turned into, oh, I regret it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I see it.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with like in the show we saw the T-Mobile room, like the discussion they had after JC took the money. And there's just been a lot of different sides of what actually went down and what was said versus and like we'll never know. Like the people in that room are the only ones that actually know what happened and what the reality is. So, I don't know. I feel like it goes back to that too.
We know from past interviews, like when we talked to Patrick and Gage, who were also there, like that was like an hour and a half conversation after JC took the money. And there was a lot said that wasn't included in the edit as well. And there was a lot of stuff that led up to why JC took the money. Like JC felt like he was in a bad position because of what someone else said. So there was definitely a lot of drama surrounding the decision, and it's hard to like pinpoint who exactly to blame as to why JC took the money, other than to blame JC himself. So yeah, there's just a lot of drama around that situation. I think that's why Jeff was so adamant on highlighting that in Final Tribal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was interesting to see like a final tribal where it wasn't like about like your gameplay, right? Well, I mean, in JC's case, like, so Ian really did have like the easier, right, like sort of path to winning here, because in final tribal, typically, like you both have like games to compare where moves have been made, betrayals have been like happened. But for Ian, it was really like his pitch it was just more social, right? Like you're not pointing to things that you've done in the past, I guess, this season, right? Like it's not like you blindsided somebody and like, hey, vote for me. It's more like, what can I do for you going forward? And hey, I haven't really done anything bad to you guys so far, whereas JC is coming in with baggage from season 1.
Right.
So,
and that's what, now that I'm thinking about it, if it was Ian and, for example, maybe Ian and Ethan in Final Tribal, I think Ethan would have won over it because of what Ian did in episode 3 on the obstacle course of
oh, yeah.
pushing off the guy. Like, technically, he's a villain, but just not as big of a villain as JC was in season 1.
like,
You know what I'm
different.
saying? So
Yeah.
that scenario would have been interesting to see. I think people would have pointed out that Ian did betray someone that he didn't have to betray. Like, in the obstacle course, he could have let both of them go through and they would have both made it through. So he made that decision, I guess, just strategically on gameplay and his alliance. But that's why it's going to be interesting to see Ian moving forward, because 1, he was a villain on the obstacle course. 2, now he has $1.8 million. How is that going to change other people's perspective on him, especially the people that are back in the city? Like, they don't really know everything that happened on the island. They didn't get to watch Final Tribal. So I don't know. I think it'll be really interesting to see the position that Ian's in the coming episodes.
Well, he's made a promise to 8 people. So.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
I can't wait to see how that plays out. And the fact that there's now 2 millionaires in the show still, like
already,
we have JT and Ian. Like, it'll be interesting seeing their way of going about that from now on. The rest of the people.
Because if it's like a vote out scenario, I mean, we know next week's episode is the red cubes, so it's interesting to see how they'll be paired up and how people will, like, or just to hear Ian and JT's pitch, like, don't send me home. Like, yeah, I have $1 million, but don't send me home yet. Whereas other people have no money under their belt besides Ethan. So, yeah, it's going to be really interesting, I think. But okay, let's talk about the final moment of the episode.
Oh my gosh.
I just can't believe it was JC in that position.
I know. You
coin.
can't even like make that stuff up. Like, that's just crazy for the villain to have the most powerful twist in the game. Like, who would have seen that coming?
Yeah.
Perfect. So he has to make it. It says he has to make it 2-6 to flip it. Right? Okay, so he can't flip it like whenever he wants.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Like, it is interesting that it essentially is like an immunity idol, but technically not like a guaranteed immunity idol. But it definitely helps him maybe advance in the game. So it gives him, as he said, leverage.
Yeah.
So,
leverage.
Yeah, definitely leverage in like situations where it is like a more social like elimination. So like, I mean, if it's like a random like build this block tower, he could get out. But like, I think like for the more social, like you said, cubes is next week. Little bit of leverage there of like, hey guys, I can increase the prize pot. So why don't I just stick around, kind of deal?
Yeah,
I love how his first instinct is like, I'm just gonna be like leverage. Like, ominous tone.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was crazy. And it's like, who wants to be the person like to get out the person who can double your money? Why would you want to be that person? So it's like he has this bubble of protection almost, it seems like now.
I'm interested to see how people, because I want to know if they think it's worth it to keep JC in the game, knowing he'll take money, like knowing he has that type of mindset, versus like, what's the balance there? Like, is it better to just get him out and keep the prize pot at 5 million, which, hey, still a lot of money, you know? And obviously 10 million is so much better, but is it worth it having JC in? And I feel like a lot of them have a perception where it's like, we don't want an OG to win. Like, this is a new season. We don't think, like, they've had their time, you know what I'm saying? So I wonder if it'll be that type of dynamic. And I feel like it's going to be like all or nothing. Like everyone's going to be like, no, we'll still get him out, or everyone's going to try to keep him in to double the prize pot. So it could go either way, honestly. I feel like if we had a better read on the cast right now, we would be able to figure it out. But I don't know. It's still a 50-50, I feel like, with them.
Yeah. I'm excited now that there are only like 20 people, and it will now go to like, I assume, eliminations versus just this like non-elimination episode. If we will get to see like more of their perspectives on like these people that are walking around with like money already, like JT, JC, and I mean even Jeff, like, you know, like how they're gonna use them. Because in one way, like, yeah, get them out of here. They already have money. They've already won something from either this experience or last time. But at the same time, it's like maybe keep them around, because if there is a game where you can team up on somebody, like that's like a sort of shield, right? Like that is like a we will team up on them before people start to team up on me, who hasn't won any money. So like I think this is where we will get like a lot more like strategy, and I'm hoping some people like do some like high level, you know, strategic moves and thinking through things like that going forward.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's just going to be a huge social game, honestly, because why would you implement the coin if the next few games would be chance? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely, they're building it to be much more of a social game compared to last season, where last season it was really just a social game, episode 8, 9, 10, I would say. But before that, a lot of it was chance or bribes. So
Yeah.
it's going to be really fun to watch, I think. Do we have anything else to say about the episode? I feel like we covered a lot.
We didn't see this on screen, but there was apparently a wedding back at Beast City while everybody was on the island.
Oh,
We
yeah.
love love. We love love.
Love. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was surprised to not see it like highlighted in the episode, but then seeing all the pictures on Instagram, like I guess it just wasn't worth it enough to include it, right? Because we didn't see that. It was just mostly the T-Mobile like luxury, whatever. Which I'm glad they got that too, because that when we were on the island, bro, we were getting massages, ice cream, like chef meals. It was just so nice. That was a good time. So
Yeah.
I'm glad they got that too. But they
I need
weren't on
to-
an island, so
I need to know if the wedding was like real. Does Jack really have like the like power and certificate to marry people?
Right.
And if not, if cubes are the next episode, like could they request like an actual licensed person
Oh.
to get them married in the cube?
That's such a good point.
that
Oh
would
my
be
gosh.
crazy though, because like I mean they've been there for around 2 to 3 weeks, I guess, at that point.
Do
But
it for the
getting
plot.
married at 3
Do it
weeks,
for the
yeah,
plot.
literally,
Yeah.
literally. And that's one more thing. Like in the behind the scenes, they showed a shot of like Jim and Monica were in the same box with someone else. I'm not remember, but I wouldn't want to go in the box with them because in our scenario, it was 2 people go through, 1 person goes home.
Yeah.
So if you're in there with a couple,
No.
they're not going to want to separate. So
Right.
sorry to
Going
whoever's
the
in that
same
box.
pairs, like, you know, that's,
Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see. I think next week's episode is going to be really good. So
I'm excited.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now have we covered everything?
I think so. I think this was probably like, yeah, like I said, I think this was one of the best episodes of Beast Games, up there with like last season's Cube episode. I think it's crazy that this single episode, Jimmy gave away $2.8 million, which is more than Survivor gives away in 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Oh my gosh.
like I'm gonna need other reality shows to step up their game, because we don't want to just compete for $1 million. We want to compete for 5 million.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or 10
Good
million.
point.
Or 10
Or
million.
10 million. Yeah.
Or 10 million. Okay, so are there any, I guess, final thoughts, final words that you want to share? Maybe A good question to ask is any advice for anyone going on to a reality TV show, whether it's Survivor, or Beast Games, or just anything in general, since you have so much experience?
Going on, if you get cast, just go have fun. Don't really think about like the edit. Don't think about any of that stuff while you're out there. Just go have fun. I mean, I guess know why you're going out there. If you're going out there for the money, like do everything you can to get as much money as you can. But enjoy the experience. Don't go on Reddit afterwards. You're not going to listen to me, even though I said don't go on Reddit. You just go on Reddit, and try not to go on Twitter. Don't search your name on Reddit. There's going to be good stuff and there's going to be bad stuff. And if you believe the good stuff, then you'll probably end up believing the bad stuff too. And that's not good. So stay off of social media in the sense of looking for comments, So that's my only advice for people who do this. It's like, avoid Reddit, avoid looking at what people think of you. I mean, maybe do it once, but try not to make a habit out of it.
Yeah,
Good
great
advice. That's good advice. Well, thank you, Jesse, for coming on. This was so fun to break down the episode with you and talk about your Survivor Beast Games experiences. Do you have anything you want to shout out? We're going to roll out the red carpet for you.
Oh, I don't have any. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram, Jesse_L_Lopez. Yeah, I don't really got much going on. I'm just here enjoying life, hanging out with my 2 kids, and you're honestly lucky that Gio's in school right now, or else he would be like jumping up and down on his love sack in the background. So,
oh,
Love
yeah.
that.
Tell him we say hi. Tell him we say
Yes,
hi.
please.
Yeah, this was
But
fun.
yeah, go follow Jesse.
Yeah,
All
thanks for
things.
having me.
Of course. That's all we have, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to comment down below and let us know what your favorite part of the episode was. And we'll see you next week.
See ya.